All right, so what we're doing right now, we're using a dark brown, burnt umber, and ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and yellow ochre for highlights. So I'm starting with a dark base. I'm just kind of around more where all over actually, kind of, but not where I want to highlight. Around the flowers, yes, because the flowers are going to cast a shadow over her hair. Hair in the back would look a little bit darker. Any hair in the back, like around the ears. And I'm just going to keep this like that. I've already done the other side. Okay. All right. Maybe here. Right there. Okay. So now I can take burnt umber. Let's take a little bit of burnt sienna in there to give it that kind of lighter but more reddish. A little bit of reddish color in there. And a couple of strands, especially in the front. Front.
Are you supposed to be able to see the different colors?
Yeah, you see a bit of that difference in color, yes. I like to keep the ones behind the ear and down here darker, down there, around the neck in the back, darker. But yes, can you see it?
Well, I think there's a glare.
Yes, there's a glare. I know, I can see that. Let me see if I can do something about the glare, okay?
I see a lot of blue.
Pardon?
I do see the blue. Yeah.
You see the blue?
Yeah, it's darker. Yeah.
In the dark. In the dark area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the top. On the top.
Yes, right there, right here.
Yeah.
If it's okay, could you just go over it a bit with your corner of your brush and kind of make it a little bit less blue if you like, with the corner of the brush. Okay, let me check. I'm gonna pause a bit and see if I can. All right, let's take a little bit of this yellow ochre and mix it with burnt umber that has a tiny bit of burnt sienna in it. And let's choose an area where we can see might be highlighted, where the forehead is, let's say. And then just kind of create that kind of movement. we need a little bit of kind of highlighted areas to create movement in the hair. Otherwise it looks flat. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding a bit of the yellow ochre in the hair, and I'm just putting some of this yellow ochre next to the skin. Yellow ochre with brown, with burnt umber. Now, because the hair is dark in the back, that highlight, whatever highlight I'm putting, looks, you can see them. You can see that because I have a very nice kind of darkish background for the hair. I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow ochre again. Go back to this part, highlight a little bit more, because you know acrylic dries darker. The more highlight I put, the shorter the distance. So I'll explain in a minute what I mean. So I started with a good part of burnt umber and yellow ochre, and it was kind of more burnt umber. So it's like from here to here. Now, because I'm adding more yellow ochre, the distance is shorter where the strong yellow ochre is, because that creates the illusion of a strong highlight right there, light right there. So first it's like mid-tone, yellow ochre and burnt umber, but then I added more yellow ochre, and that by adding more yellow ochre, I made it more stronger kind of highlight in there. So now I'm just kind of going back and cleaning up. All right, I'm going to do the same right here, just a bit of highlights in there, right here. Right there. So again, now I can add maybe a tiny bit of white. Let's see how it goes. If it turns out too much, like too bright, then I can tone it down by glazing the hair after, where the highlight is, the strong highlight is. But let's try with a strong first kind of a mixture of burnt umber, yellow ochre, but more yellow ochre, and some white, a little bit of white. Let's see how it goes. round brush, because I can control the brush stroke better. Again, we don't want too much strong, like we don't want a strong highlight, just kind of a hint of light in here, because we don't want the hair to look flat. And I'll wait for it to dry. If I find that by the time it's dry, if I find that it's too light, I can just glaze it back with burnt umber and it'll be fine. I can still see the highlight even after glazing, but it will tone it down. It will push it back. Let's see, meanwhile, if we can highlight this part again a little bit more in the center. So I think that's this one here needs a bit of fixing. Right. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow oak, burnt sienna, mix it with burnt umber again, and just come here and add some kind of a little bit of burnt sienna in there with burnt umber. It just makes the hair look much more interesting if you see hints of reddish brownish color. Sorry, I have to turn this around so I can control my brush stroke. Shouldn't take long. Now I can see that this part here is flat, like too much white in there. So I'm just going to take burnt umber and make a glaze. Make it thin, transparent. That's what glaze is. Just kind of transparent color. Wipe my brush so I don't have too much paint on it. Pick up some paint that has water in it and just go over and just glaze this part. And you can still see the highlight, but the highlight color is changed into brown instead of white. Here. Burnt umber, where I see a lot of dark. This burnt umber is like a kind of like a glaze to tone down the dark color. And one more thing I'm going to try to do is create kind of a soft shadow where the hair is on her face. So the soft shadow that I'm trying to create right now, I'm just going to try to use actually glaze of burnt umber. And I'm going to start here. And you can see that this glaze is perfect. With the corner of my brush, because I can't control the color. You don't want it to make a, you don't want this color to make a line, you don't want to have a line in there. It has to be a soft shadow in there. All right, that's not bad. This part of the hair catches more light right there, top. And underneath as well, it's not flat. So I'm going to take some burnt umber, mix it with yellow ochre, a bit of yellow ochre, but more burnt umber. And just, I'm going to kind of soften this. Shouldn't look like a heavy. I'll take a break and then we'll come back and do the eyebrows. All right, so hair is good. We don't need to do more than that. I'm going to work on the eyebrows. I'm going to use just a round brush and burnt umber, just burnt umber, and just kind of create a bit of movement. And if it's not enough and the burnt umber by itself, we'll add a tiny bit of blue. Mix it with burnt umber. Make the burnt umber darker. More blue, more burnt umber than the blue. Okay, and okay, again, of course, let's make it into more of a glaze. And let's do that. Let's try a bit with a couple of not much, because we don't want to make it too dark. Of course, it's darker when it goes down this way and lighter where there is light. And this
the light color, what color it is?
Burnt umber and a bit of, tiny bit of ultramarine blue. I think that's enough. Now, I'm just going to kind of make it, instead of having a straight line, just kind of give it a bit of movement, softer. You could see kind of the edge a bit of the, okay, that's, it's getting a little bit too dark, so I don't want that. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of, just take yellow ochre and brown only. Let's see, because acrylic dries darker, so whatever I'm doing here is gonna dry darker. So I'm going to soften this by highlighting with yellow ochre and burnt umber some part, kind of like open up a bit if it's too dense, especially at the bottom here where there was like a strong line. That's good. Okay, that's enough. Now for the hair, there's another thing that we can do. We can do some kind of But I think, I mean, we can do some kind of strands. Not so, but honestly, I'm trying not to do a lot with the hair because I'm just waiting for the flowers, and we'll take it from there. For the flowers, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do this, and then we'll decide on the flowers. I'm going to pause. So for the flowers, we're going to use Alizarin Crimson, Raw Umber, right there, Naples Yellow, and Titanium Buff. Let's start with Alizarin Crimson and Raw Umber. Mix them together. Let's take a little bit more Alizarin Crimson. Actually, yeah, kind of. It's a dark kind of color. Let's do this one here, the big one.
The back.
Right there.
So it's
right there.
Oh, the front.
Front.
It's kind of burgundy, yeah?
Burgundy, yes, but now it's a dark color, right? Because it's
Yes,
gonna dry
yes.
darker even. It's yeah, it's a nice kind of burgundy color. Okay, let's use just only raw umber for the center. We're not seeing anything right now because everything is dark and there's another glare on this. It's okay. I'll fix it in a minute. All right. It will dry in a minute and it'll be fine. Mm-hmm.
In the middle,
just burnt umber.
Okay. It's nice. It suits with the hair.
I'm gonna take a touch now of alizarin crimson, more alizarin crimson, just alizarin crimson right here, and a touch of the titanium buff.
Why did you choose titanium buff instead of white?
Instead of white, because titanium buff is softer on, white. Sometimes makes the color look washed out.
What? Flat?
Pardon?
Does it make it look flat?
Flat, washed out, yeah. Like it sucks the intensity of the color. I want to see the color. I don't want the intensity of the color. I don't want it to be desaturated a lot. Then I use.
It's lighter though.
But the titanium buff.
Yeah. With the titanium buff, it's lighter.
It's softer. It's not like using white. White will change the color.
Yes.
Yeah. Into a very kind of it just.
I understand.
Yeah, removes the intensity of the color too much.
That's really pretty. That's a really pretty color. It is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So.
It goes well with the green too.
Yeah. So let's kind of do this, and it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't, it's not. We're not going for the color, the shape. It's just a suggestion of a flower.
Do you know that It reminds me of beads. It reminds me the color of beads.
Beads.
Oh, beads, yeah.
Beads.
Beets, yes.
The
Root
color-
beet, root beet. Yes.
Root bead.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll highlight a little bit more.
Yeah.
Certain areas. Let's put a couple of dots of inside. I can't get rid of the what to do. This is kind of what you see. It will dry very soon, and you'll see it better when it dries.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
All right.
I like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Good.
Better than what I have. This different color. Different color.
Yeah, different. Yeah, different.
I was trying different. I was pretty white in it, and I shouldn't have. I think
White.
The white was good. See, I like to try things on my own to see if I can do it on my own.
Yes, and you can.
And then I go back and change it to what you show us. Yes.
It's good to try. It's good to try. You should try.
I don't want surprises.
Right. So I'm gonna let it dry for now, and then we'll go back and see if we want to highlight a little bit or just leave it like that. We can move on to the next color, and it's okay. If you want, I'll wait. I will wait.
No
problem.
No.
I'm good. I'm good. I can. I will pause a bit. Okay. So let's work on this part. That's the kind of scarf, ribbon, whatever. And I'm gonna take. I'm taking Alizarin Crimson, raw umber, and titanium buff. You know what? I'm finding this Alizarin Crimson a little bit too pink. A touch of Cadmium Red Light with the Alizarin Crimson and the raw umber. And let's see.
Cadmium Red Light.
Light. Cadmium Red Light. Yeah. I like that better. I like this color better.
With the same combination?
Just kind of, yes. With Alizarin Crimson and raw umber, Cadmium Red Light, and titanium buff. And actually, at this point, we might use for the next, let's put this first layer on, and then we might highlight with white instead of the titanium buff. But for the first layer, it's good to have a darker base. Gonna let it dry a bit. Go back to raw umber, alizarin crimson, and cadmium red light. With a small brush, I'm just gonna create kind of folds for now. Hint. And then I can, at this point, I think I'm going to use white at this point instead of, because I want this nice kind of soft pink, and titanium buff is not giving me the soft pink. All right, let's try. Alizarin crimson, a little bit of raw umber, cadmium red light, white. Yes, that's a kind of a nice soft pastel white, pink, I mean.
Dusty rose. Yes.
I'm not going to highlight all the way, just kind of where the light would hit, and this is where the flower is, so the flower is going to cast a shadow over. Just kind of this part here. The rest is going to stay dark, and whatever is in the back, it's going to be kind of a mid-tone.
So does the ribbon not continue on, or it's just staying at the top?
It stays at the top.
Okay.
And I kept this dark right here, this part dark.
No, it doesn't extend down.
Oops, like no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
This is cadmium red light with, I'm putting in it raw umber, and I'm going to put white. This is still kind of looking a bit kind of too big, too pink. Let me see. The Alizarin Crimson is kind of taking over. Let's use another layer. This is kind of drawing. Okay.
What color though?
Okay. It's the same. It's the same. Raw umber, cadmium red light, and white, but no Alizarin Crimson. That's all. I'm just removing the alizarin crimson.
I'm sorry, say, oh, you're not...
It's cadmium red light, raw umber, and white.
Okay. Not the bath.
Pardon?
Not the bath. The bath.
But no, not the buff.
No. So, Leia, initially you had said, oh, you did say raw umber.
Yeah.
Okay, forget it. I thought I wrote down burned umber.
No, raw umber. And if I want to darken a bit to push it back, I'm just going to use raw umber in here, in that pink, and just push it back. Put some.
Mine is going brown now.
Brown? You're putting too much, a lot of
the light.
Raw umber. You're putting too much raw umber in there. If it's turning brown, that means there's too much raw umber.
Okay.
You know, we have to think all the time, the whole time, that we need to, whatever we do here in the hair, any color we're putting in the hair, for the flowers, it has to be toned down so it doesn't take over the face and the eyes and it's not about that. It's not about the flowers, it's about the face, right? The flowers come secondary. They're there to kind of support the face, but the face is the main feature. And if we do a lot of bright colors for the face and the hair, then we're taking away, the hair and the ribbon and the flowers, we're taking away from the face. I mean, we want some color, we want some beautiful kind of interesting flowers, but they're toned down. They're toned down. We're toning them down.
But sometimes you have different browns from us, and there is a little bit.
I just adjust. That's all. Like right here, right now, I'm toning it down with more brown, and I feel it's better because it's toned down with brown, more brown.
Yeah.
I just kind of gauge what needs to be done, especially when the color is still wet. When it's still wet, it's okay, but when it dries, this is where I have to go back and adjust, because it dries darker, it dries more brown, it dries lighter, it dries. So I'm constantly trying to adjust. And the ribbon, the head usually is not flat, it's round. So the ribbon is going to be darker down here and darker here because of the flowers, and more highlight over here, this part.
In the middle. In the middle.
Yes, in the middle. This is where we're going to see the highlight. But most of the time, just keep in mind, if you see the flowers more than the hair, more than the face, then it needs to be adjusted.
Yeah. But are you recording now?
Yes. Do you want to see something? Okay. And I never usually, it's never the last this is not the last layer. That's not it. You know what I mean? Like it's always, I always adjust when all of the colors are there, done.
Yes.
All of the flowers are there, then I adjust more if anything needs to be adjusted. I try not to finish completely at this point.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting some shadows in here, in between the layers where the fabric is overlapping. I need to adjust the hair a bit. I can see that the highlight where the hair right here is not strong enough. It's better. We'll keep these colors for next time. I wrote them down, so next time we'll continue.
If you don't mind, send us a picture again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
okay. I'm gonna stop recording.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're done for tonight. Next week we will work on the flowers. We'll continue working on the flowers. We'll put some earrings and maybe a scarf.